since that election week. This market has been extremely choppy, sideways, up and down move. If anything, only time we saw any kind of smooth rally was maybe you can see 1 week or so in early April, and then maybe we can look at this as a one smooth rally 1 week in early February. So you can see, looking at going all the way back to November last year, right? That's what, 8 months already. There has only been 2 times, right, where market saw a smooth rally week. So I don't know. Let's look at this as 2 weeks here. That is 2 weeks, and that's 1 week. So can you imagine in 8 months? How many weeks is that? That's 32 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Last 8 months, there has been 32 weeks, and out of those 32 weeks, only time we saw a smooth rally weeks were 3 weeks, which is in April and February in the last 8 months. So can you imagine if somebody's just trying to pick, right? Trying to ride this smooth rally in the last 8 months, you can't, right? If anybody trying to pick top or anybody trying to wait just so that you can grab these 2 rallies that we've seen in the last 8 months, it's impossible. People trying to call top, right? People trying to make money off of shorting the market. Well, they haven't made any money since March lows, because the only time where anything feasible to short this market was probably September. If then, I mean, do you really think they actually timed it perfectly, right? People who actually, taunting the fact that they made money shorting in the market, well, they failed to mention last 10, 20 times their trade that went bust, right? So you can see how difficult this market has been just in the last 8 months, really since the COVID, right? We saw a huge decline. And let's just talk about quickly about even the COVID. Do you really think, bears made any money shorting this? No, because, there was this ferocious rally each day. Do you see this move right here, right? Every day there was a big bounce intraday. Do you see this? Do you see these moves right here? You see that? You see this? You see these just huge rallies that we saw throughout the day. Only move that we saw that was down move during COVID was overnight on the futures market. You know what that means? That means any short, because a lot of times the short-term traders, anytime when people are shorting, they don't like to hold things overnight because you'd be scared to see a candle like this, especially all day market was, you know what I mean, just raising, move. Like I think it was like, it would be down like, it'll be down like 5% or something, and it'll be up 4 or 5% next day. Very scared to see a gap up next day or so, follow through move. So not a lot of shorts or bears are shorting in this rally, into this, bullish rally throughout the day. So what many shorts were doing is they were shorting after gap up and then closing out on the next day when the market rallied. Most retail traders, most bears, they claim that they made money in COVID lows. They didn't. Why am I talking about this? That's the most detrimental thing you're going to do, is becoming a YOLO FOMO gambler in the market. Not understanding building your portfolio, right? And so I've been talking a lot about that. Having that well-balanced portfolio, rigid, robust portfolio, right? Well diversified portfolio, right? And it takes time, but once once your portfolio is well built and then the market gets into a trend, what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel you're gonna be a little more composed. You're gonna be a little bit more reserved. You're not gonna you're not gonna freak out on some stupid pullbacks that we see. If anything, look for opportunity. You really truly gonna become James Bond of the market. Right? Cool, calm, collected. Right? Versus everyone out there just freaking out every time we see couple percentage downturn. Always calling for tops, always trying to call, trying to call, oh, market is going to go up tomorrow. Market is down to, always trying to prepare for corrections. Trying to avoid it, always being fearful, what might become, what drawdown I'm going to go through, right? Poverty mentality. Only way you could have made money in the last 8 months is to hold through all of this, right? And letting your well-diversified portfolio, right, navigate through it. Because throughout this right here, throughout that, up and down shenanigan, there were some stocks tanked. We saw hyper stocks tanked, right? We saw like DocuSign tanked. We saw Roku tank. Something like Amazon haven't moved for entire year, right? We saw Zoom tank. We saw Spotify tank. We saw Baidu tank. We saw Alibaba tank. However, we did see bank stocks thrive. We did see, transports thrive. We did see energy thrive. Keep in mind, these guys didn't thrive during the COVID months last year when the hyper stocks, when they made a big rallies, these transport small caps, the banks, they didn't make that move. It was the semiconductor, it was the hyper stocks, it was large tech stocks that made a move, last year. And those hyper stocks been coming down while a large tech stocks been struggling. So that what happens? So that when you have well-diversified portfolio, you can weather it. Right? Some of your position that you hold, they come down. Some of your position you hold, they make a move. It offset each other. So look at this. Spider, since the October 2020, Spider, this is Vanguard Index Fund, but trading it here, and then it said here. So nonetheless, market make a move. And so you should be making money in your portfolio. But I bet you, if we look at all the retail traders' account in the last year or 8 months, it will be either breaking even, losing money in the last 8 months. Why? Because the market is so choppy and lethargic. And a lot of people trying to short, a lot of people trying to prepare correction, a lot of people burn money just putting hedges all over the places. This entire time, I did not place any hedges here. So I didn't have to waste any of that, right? Okay, are you not afraid we may see 10% corrections? No. Sometimes I almost welcome it because maybe there are other stocks that I want to get into because I'm watching it, I can't get into because they're up too much. So on a day-to-day basis, you're always on a neutral mindset. If market moves sideways, that's cool. Right? That's the best thing you can ask for long-term investors so you don't have to go through any drawdowns. If the market pulls back, that's cool because it's going to provide more liquidity into the market and maybe market will get into big rallies because it's been so choppy anyway. And then maybe on that pullback, I might get into some other positions. Maybe they'll allow me to get into some of these exotics also. Because I've been pretty light on exotics compared to, how I was trading my exotics last year. When I say exotics, I mean call options, I mean triple shares, I mean double shares. Right? What if the market keeps going higher? Great. So then I incur gains in my account. So you see, there's no anxiety here. There's no desperation here. There's no neediness here. Keep in mind, this market can sniff that shit out. If you're desperate, if you're needy, right? Market will punish you. Market will punish you severely.